love weekends. I remember when I used to work, 10 minutes to 5, I was called into my boss's office, and the panic would come over me because I was about to be fired, and I hadn't stolen enough stuff yet.
We live in the posh part of Manchester now. No, we don't. I know you don't believe me, because I've got an accent and that, but I live in a place called Didsbury now with my girlfriend. And it's very nice. It's the kind of place that gets a big issue delivered, you know. And we go for walks and everything. That's what we do. It's really fucking sad, right? We go for walks. You couldn't do that in Cheetham Hill. You get your legs robbed, leave your torso on bricks. It'd be terrible. But you can in Didsbury. Didsbury's so posh, trees and everything. It's fantastic. I'll tell you how posh Didsbury is. I have to leave a note for me milkman in bleeding Latin.
I hate the weekends. The problem is I don't have a nice local to hang out in. I won't actually go to what is my local pub because the landlord is, in fact, a retired prison officer. Now, I didn't find this out until one night I was involved in a lock-in. 2 bloody years!
Don't tell anyone, this sounds sad, but went for a walk in Didsbury by the river, and there was a couple there feeding the ducks, and they were feeding the ducks fucking croissants.
I went to this great party last night, all these hipsters. You know. One of these guys with like a long, thin beard with a beater. You know. Weird. You know, I was just being pally and stuff, and I went up to him and I tugged on his beard and let go of it. And his face just rolled up like a blind.
I noticed that there's like a lap dancing place opened in town. It's European, you can tell by the names, you know, Le Moulin Rouge, Le Cage aux Folles, you know, Bon Marché. Yeah. And I didn't realise that some of them are called fantasy bars, did you? No, you see. I didn't realise it was that kind of fantasy, because I'd gone dressed as Lord of the Rings. Yeah, which, believe me, in that place was fighting talk. I said, no, it wasn't my fault. I said to the man at the desk, hi, you know, I'm looking for some goblin. He said, you've come to the right place, just pop your head through the flaps. When I went in there was this stripper called BJ. I said, BJ, I said, that's an interesting name. And I said, what's it short for? And she whispered it in my ear. Parents can be so cruel, can't they? Do you know what I mean? But she never had a moment's peace in the playground. Well, I know my teeth aren't much to look at, but you should have seen it. When she smiled, it's like an upturned Toblerone. When they put the wind machine on, it was like pan pipes.
Someone said to me the other day, it's just not my day. And I said to them, well, of course it's not your day. And with the population of the world at 6 billion, the chances of it ever getting round to being your day are pretty slim. You don't count. No one cares if you live or die. You're not important. And if you could read the sign, you'd know that we don't sell books to children unaccompanied by an adult.
Last Saturday, I found myself playing dominoes with a group of local senior citizens. It was in the post office, just a huge queue. I couldn't resist it. Pushed the one at the back. They were all off. Over the bridge, on the little seesaw. Fantastic. Only ever do it if the one at the front's got a fur hat, so when they crack the glass, it isn't inhumane.
I'm in a long-term relationship now, so obviously most weekends we go to IKEA. Never thought I'd ever have Swedish magazines on my bed with bits of furniture in, for Christ's sake.
A lot of comedians do gags about IKEA. The funny thing about IKEA, of course, is that the gags do actually write themselves, ironically. My favourite part about the whole experience is standing in the car park watching people load up their cars. Invariably, half of them will take out that little shelf in the back of the hatchback in order to fit something in, and then leave it lying or leaning up against a pillar. I like to collect them all up at the end of the day, take them down my local car boot sale. Seems appropriate.
A major problem in this country is that you are godless. You don't go to church. The Archbishop of Canterbury is retiring. Can he do that? I thought it was a straight arc. Archbishop? Angel. What's he gonna do when he gives up? Smoke crack or something?
I live in Moston, which is in Manchester, which is described as a bit rough, but interesting and friendly. But imagine if Jesus had gone to school in Moston. All the other kids would be going, all right, Jesus, nice one, all right. And then you'd be on, like, school sports day, yeah? And all the other kids would be doing the swimming gala, swimming like mad, really, really hard like this. They're just about to win, and then Jesus would come from nowhere and just walk across the pool. And the kids would be really, really nacked. And you can imagine one of the kids going, hey, Jesus, you're well out of order, and I've got something to tell you. Josie think you're real dad.
It's like I was playing a game with my niece, yeah? It's called What Did God Make? And how it works is that you look around and you each take a turn to name something that God possibly might have made, you know? It's sort of like a Roman Catholic version of I Spy. So anyway, we're playing and we go through the obvious trees, clouds, flowers. And then she's looking at me and she says, "Did he make curtains?" I said, "No." "Okay," she said. "Did he make flowers?" "Yes." "Okay, but we've said flowers." "Okay. Did he make cheese?" "No." "Did he make sandals?" "No." So she stops and says, "Who made God?" I'm like, he made himself. So then she thinks and says, "Okay, how did he do his back?"
My father, your father, our Father who art in heaven, our Father who was in heaven. Where is he now? Where is thy kingdom? Where is thy come? Help. My little pony, my fair lady, my father used to say to me, after repeatedly beating me at Scale Electrics, "It's not the winning or the losing that counts, but the taking it apart and losing some of the small pieces that make it work."
John Milton's Paradise Lost, right? The plot of that would have been so different if before he started writing it, he'd just retraced his steps and thought about where he'd last had it.
When I was a kid, every Sunday we had to go to church. We were dragged there. It's like, "Come on, you're coming to church." "No, please." And the only part of church that I liked was getting the bread and the wine, because you'd be 8 years old and you'd be getting wine. I'd be there in my cravat. "Morning, everybody. Marvellous. Hello, Mrs. Havisham, how are we? Very good. Vino for one, please, Reverend. Very good, lad."
You know what I really like to do fun when I'm bored? I love to walk into a Christian bookstore and go, "Where the fuck are the Bibles?" "All right, here, I'll thank you very much." "Jesus Christ, 20 quid? I get these autographed for 20 pounds. "Do you carry the Book of Mormon?" "Oh, you don't carry satire." "Well, excuse me." Of course, I had the lady behind the counter come over and go, "Excuse me, sir, I didn't really appreciate your comments about religion." I'm like, "Hey, lighten up, my pseudo-evangelistic type female. How about you get off the cross? We need the wood." She's right back in my face. She goes, "You know what your problem is?" I go, "Yeah." "Cool, huh?" She's like, "Your problem is you have to trust Jesus. Just trust Jesus." I do trust Jesus. I just don't trust the people he has working for him. Because there is, and I quote, "a big difference between kneeling down and bending over."
Now, a lot of people, when they want to get back at somebody, resort to voodoo, the idea of pushing pins into a little wax effigy to cause them pain. I found it a lot more effective just to push the pins straight into the person themselves.
What you need is drive-through churches. You have a big purple neon sign. "Prayer Express, we pray right away." A big golden arch. Madonnas. No, not that one. The original one. Personally, I would go to Bible King, home of the Whopper. Like that Whopper that Mary told Joseph.
My mum's a really strong Catholic, though. You know, like when we were little, she'd always be warning us off with them phrases. You know? It's like, "Well, remember, Tony, masturbation in the eyes of the Pope's a sin." It's like, never thought of masturbating in the eyes of the Pope. Well, that's disgusting, you know. On his back, maybe. No, I wouldn't. Well, maybe. No, I wouldn't. Well, you know, Saturday night, you've had a few. No, I wouldn't.
I'm actually thinking of going to church a lot more on Sunday, just for the social life. I tell you, my big problem with God, though, is that if he does exist, why does he let such terrible things happen? Now, I reckon it's because he's just a bit crap. You know, he means well, but he's taken too much on. You know, heaven's like a huge office, piles of rubbish everywhere, facts on the blink, no email. God's rummaging through piles of paper going, "Famine in Africa? Why did no one tell me about this?" I've been spending all my time making statues cry in small Croatian villages.
He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. But he who lives by the pen smells of pigs.
In Jamaica, we invented our own religion. Rastafari. The coolest religion in the world. The most African interpretation of the Old Testament. It is so cool All of you people, you come to Jamaica, you buy the woolly hat with all the dreadlocks hanging down, you swing it around and you go, Irie! But you don't go to Jerusalem and buy a yarmulke with 2 pieces of fur hanging down and swing it around and go, Oy vey.
What we need to do with the weather is just do like Noel Edmonds used to do with Swap Shop. We should have Swap Shop for weather. If God was like Noel Edmonds, he'd be in heaven and he'd be having his own swap shop. He'd be sat there with the silly tank top on and a stupid beard, and people would phone up and say, God, listen, I'll swap you some rain clouds and some chilly weather and some blowy wind from England and a pair of roller skates, and we'll swap it with Africa for some sun. In fact, for some sun from Africa, we give him a bike as well. We give him a bike and roller skates and a skateboard and probably a Nintendo. And right now I'd give him my coat. I'd give them anything for some bleeding sun. It's not a great idea, but it's better than Michael Fisk coming on every day, isn't it, saying, well, the weather in England tomorrow's going to be shite like it was yesterday.
When it comes to rain, remember what my father says back in Canada. You don't have to shovel it. Huh? Huh? This is fine. I'm being hydrated at the moment. This is ridiculous. What the fuck am I doing here? My jacket weighs 400 pounds. I can't get wetter. I'm hydrated. I'm completely wet. I'm gonna melt. Somebody can stir me now. That's how wet I'm getting. Can I get any wetter? Shut up. I feel like a freak. Just look at me, huh? What a physique. No ass and a huge gut. I've no ass at all. My legs just meet somewhere in my lower back. I'm not in good shape for a human. If I was a pear, I'd be ready right now.
See, when I was growing up in Oldham as well, we had a dry ski slope, right? But it'd be like January or something, and you'd think, oh, I might go and do a bit of skiing. You'd go up, and the thing would be shut because it was snowing. And there'd be a fella there with a sign saying, oh, no, sorry, not today, son. It's a bit slippy. Is there much more to do?
The summer up north. Oh, yeah, there's 2 words that don't go together. It's like Irving Welsh and Jackanory. Fuck, wank, shit! Injecting eyeball. Hello, kids. Anyway, right, summer up north. You just can't win up north, because if it rains, everyone moans. And if it's sunny, well, there's a race riot. Because the BNP, for some reason, always come up north for the summer holidays. Which is strange, because I can't imagine a Nazi would want a tan.
Oh, I've had a terrible week, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a terrible week. Let's have the cat put down. It wasn't ill, but a bet's a bet.
They've got a website, you know, the BNP. Oh, it's something you can buy, like mugs, underpants, nail bombs and everything. I think you can contact them on www.go.uk. Because they aren't idiots, are they? I mean, what's an organisation that hates foreigners doing on the World Wide Web, for fuck's sake?
The other weekend I was gardening, and you know they say that if you cut a worm in half, at least one bit is going to live. Try doing it lengthways.